Welcome to the Purple Party, known as Purple Nerd Channel, home for all those who geek out on all things Prince related. Now, there has been a ton of Prince comic books released over the years. Unfortunately, not all of them are authorized or officially put out by an actual real publication. They're more or less fan-made pieces that were either released independently or released direct to consumers. So today I will be talking about the Prince comic books that are official and authorized and put out by full, like, real publication companies. And they kind of divide in two categories. We have fantasy-based stories, and then we have ones that are biographical stories. So let's get started with the first one, and that is Prince Alter Ego, which was released in December of 1991 by DC Comics. Written by Dwayne McDuffie and art by Dennis Conway and Kent Williams, with the spectacular and legendary cover by Brian Boland. This is a fantasy-based narrative with a fictitious version of Prince battling an old friend turned enemy named Gemini. Gemini wants to spread destruction across the world by way of negative music, and Prince uses the power of love in his music, which is called New Power Soul in this particular issue, to defeat Gemini and save the world. Up next we have Prince, the Three Chains of Gold, which was released in 1994, again by DC Comics, and again written by Dwayne McDuffie, but this time with David Williams, Steve Carr, and Joe Rubinstein handling the artwork, and from Prince's own camp, Steve Park doing the cover art. This comic dives deeper into the lore of the Three Chains of Gold, aka the Three Chains of Turin, expanding the story of Prince and the MPG crossing paths with Maite, the Crown Princess of Cairo, and the rightful owner of the chains. The comic does a great job of tying the loose storyline of the Love Symbol album released in 1992 and the confusing storyline of the film Three Chains of Gold, released in 1994, making for a very cohesive story of magic and love beyond death. So now we will get into the biographical comics. First with Rock and Roll Comics number 21, released in January of 1991 by Revolutionary Comics. This issue was written by Todd Loren with artwork by Stuart Immonen, and the cover, which features Prince, by Scott Jackson. And I point out Prince being on the cover because not only does this comic book tell the biographical story of Prince from his early beginnings all the way up to the Graffiti Bridge release, but the second half of this comic book tells the biographical story of Parliament Funkadelic's creation. Next we have Prince in Comics, which was released on September 12th, 2023 by NBM Comics Biographies, written by Nicholas Finet and Tony Lorenco, and featuring several artists, as every single story, as this is a collection of stories about Prince's life told in chronological order, each story has its own artist giving each story its own individual and unique look. And again, this collection of biographical stories take a really deep dive into Prince's home life growing up, as well as pulling back the curtain to see what the fame of Purple Rain did to Prince personally. While they do take some liberties telling of Prince's dark side and his rumored habits. And just to let you know, all of these comics are available on Amazon. Just type in the titles and it'll pull right up. And for the most part, they're not that outrageous price-wise, so if you don't have these in your collection, go ahead and order you one of them or all of them and, complete your collection. But anyways, thank you for joining me on this episode. Please like and share this video, and if you have a moment, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel grow. And go ahead and check out my Patreon page, which I'll have a link to that down in the description below. And until our next episode, I wish you heaven.